Hi guys, Zach here. Welcome to another episode of Gameday. This is where you guys submit a video and then we break it down. Today we got an interesting match played in a Wednesday Night Houseleague played between Ned and Mark. Let's get into it. What we are going to do is watch the rallies in the game and then analyze them. After the game is done, we are going to break it down into key concepts. We are right here into the game where Mark is serving to Ned. Mark is in the black shirt and Ned is in the red shirt. We are going to be talking from Ned's point of view today. After the second shot, we do a good job of hitting a straight length to get into the rally. This next sequence of shots by Ned moves Mark around a lot and ends up applying a lot of pressure. This is where it goes wrong. We go for a boast here, and it is pretty telegraphed. Mark is already moving before Ned even hits the shot. I actually don't mind hitting the boast here, but when we telegraph a shot this much, our shot has to be pretty good. Mark takes advantage of the boast with the cross court. Notice how Ned defends us by hitting another cross, and Mark has no trouble putting this away. From this rally, we can already start to think about what types of shots we are hitting. Based on the boast Ned hits, was this a shot he normally executes very well, or is this something that is a hole in his game? Ned hits a good volley. The question is, does Mark need to be worried about this? Anytime we lose the point right off the serve, we should start to look for it and recognize whether this is a pattern from our opponent. Great job by Ned noticing Mark is a left-handed player. It's easy to be focused in on our game and how we are playing that we are not even aware that our opponent is left-handed until later into the game. Ned doesn't capitalize on a loose serve return and Mark does a great job of punishing him. When we don't volley this shot, we get trapped in the corner. We do a good job setting up the rally here with a good serve return. When we get a good chance to attack, we again go for a short shot, this time a drop shot. Again, it doesn't work and the pressure gets turned on us. Amazing retrieving by Ned, and hits a good return off of a very difficult shot. Mark decides to go for a drop shot here. Just look at the position where he's taking this. This is an extremely difficult spot to hit this drop, and because of that, he lets Ned get back into this rally. Nice work by Ned continuing to move the ball deep into different corners and eventually finishes it off with a short drive. Again, we have trouble putting the ball deep here. Ned falls into the glass here. This is a pretty common problem with players where they sacrifice their movement to hit a better shot. What happens though is that they end up hitting a worse shot than they would if they decide to plant their feet and set their weight. When they fall into the wall, their body weight is moving one way and they hit the shot in the other. With their body weight going one way and their shot going the other, it makes it difficult to transfer the proper power, let alone control the ball, and then they hit a worse shot. As well, look where we are on the tee when Mark hits this ball. Because we fell into the glass, we have to recover and we are a couple seconds late to where we need to be, which makes this next shot Mark plays unretrievable. Again, we decide to defend cross-court and we lose the point. That's 2 times now Ned has attacked off the serve. For me, this would be enough to start focusing on our forehand serve because we've been punished twice. We had all the pressure up until this point. We then don't prepare well for this next shot and end up hitting the ball too short. We follow it up by another defensive cross-court and Mark puts it away. Look at the difference in the quality of shots between these two. Mark hits cleaner and usually better length than Ned. Watch us rally again and look how many times Ned has the opportunity to attack and get the ball deep. Ned continues to defend with a cross court and it just goes downhill from here. I hope you guys were keeping track that Mark was serving to Ned's forehand side. If you didn't notice it, that's okay. Similar to a game, there are a lot of things we are trying to keep track of, and it just shows how easy it is to forget something really crucial during a match. If you did catch it, good job. You are on your way to start winning points just by thinking about potential points you can save. As well, finally Mark hits a good serve. Ned doesn't hit a deep enough serve return because it was a better serve. And wow, what a difference a good serve makes. Look how easy it was for Mark to win the rally. Another great serve by Mark. Notice how Ned doesn't volley and Mark picks up an easy point. Here we go, another serve to Ned's forehand. Again, our serve isn't good, and now that's 3 points Ned has won. Ned goes for a high risk drop here. Look at the position where we take this. Although he gets the point, I'm still not entirely convinced Ned could hit short shots like these on a regular basis. I really prefer a straight length here to continue the pressure with less risk. To me, this is enough evidence that Ned cannot hit a drop shot from this position effectively. We've seen him hit the post and other drop shots earlier that had led him to lose the point. He gives a very loose ball to Mark and he loses all the pressure. Good retrieving by Ned gets him this point, albeit on a lucky shot. Watch us rally again. We had 3 chances to get the ball deep and were unable to do so. The solution to getting the ball deeper should not be hitting a cross court. It takes more power to hit a cross court than a straight length. If we cannot get it past the service line on a straight length, it will not go past the service line if we decide to cross. Mark goes for a preemptive drop shot here. Look where he is hitting this shot. As well, look where Ned is. He has to hit the shot really well to win the point, especially against Ned, who is a good retriever. Mark hits a relatively good drop here, and Ned still gets it. The question is, how good does Mark actually have to hit this shot to win the point here? If you think about that, this shot is an extremely risky shot with low reward and a high margin for error. This is something new that we haven't seen from Ned before. A really good counter drop shot. This counter drop is a lot better than his regular drop shot, and it won him the point. Here we go, this drop shot works too. Look where we take this, a lot closer to the front wall this time. Again, we counter drop here, and even though Mark didn't really run through to the ball, this counter drop would still pressure him. A good serve followed up by some great deep shots. We won this point handedly here. We can definitely win more points with these type of rallies. Look where we are again when we hit this drop shot into the tin. We've seen how we've hit drop shots when we were at the service line. Now we are trying to hit them at the service box. Again, the difference in our success rate from hitting shots from farther back is not good. Good straight volley return. A tight shot is all you need. It doesn't need to be hard. We are definitely finding success when we are hitting the ball deep with purpose. We try again for a drop shot, this time off a volley. Again, look at our position and how the rally ends up for us. Interesting rally here where it was a fight for the tee. Where did the edge come from? Ned hits 3 cross courts in a row and 2 straight shots in a row. Can we guess which one wins him the point? Ned has done a really good job in this game so far at volleying all these balls and subduing the pressure from Mark. Mark does not hit a deep enough shot and Ned counters with a straight length. Even better, Ned hits a volley on a weak cross court from Mark, and look where Mark is when Ned hits this shot. This is how strong the volley straight is, especially on cross court attempts. The 2 shots Ned played straight is what won him that point. The cross courts weren't providing any pressure, but as soon as he played a straight, he won the rally. Mark hits this one out. Considering how high up it is, any volley is going to be a tough shot. Makes it even harder on ourselves when we try to hit a cross court here. We won this point because we were able to retrieve all the balls and Mark made an error. Now what was different with our retrieval plan was that we returned all the balls straight. Although we won this point, we got ourselves into this jam because of a weak volley. If we were aggressive on the ball here, we'd be able to hit this ball a lot better instead of waiting for it and blocking it back. Watch how we return all the balls straight compared to when we returned it cross court. Although Mark hits us into the tin, if we compare when he defended cross court, the balls usually ended up here. Now look where Mark is taking the ball now. As we mentioned before, this is now a much tougher shot to hit. This is why we hit the tin on this shot. We often think that playing a drop from this distance is an easy shot. This in fact is not an easy shot and requires good hands to put this ball away. We go for another drop shot here and give all the pressure back to Mark. Another counter drop shot works here to win the game. Today we watch an interesting game between Ned and Mark. Even though Ned won the game, it really didn't feel like he controlled the rallies. The reason for this was that he didn't apply constant pressure to Mark. Although he won the game, future games are probably not going to go in Ned's favor because Mark was winning the pressure one. If we look at some of the rallies, Mark had ample opportunities to apply pressure to Ned but couldn't convert. He showed better length this match, but what caused him to lose the game was his inability to get the ball deep when he tried to increase the pressure. This is a pretty common problem to run into, especially the first game. To fix this, we have a couple different options. We can try hitting the ball harder or swinging faster. When we do this, however, we tend to change the way we swing and our balls become looser. The easiest way we can fix this is just by hitting higher. You don't need to take pace off the ball, but just aim higher on the wall and you'll see how an easy adjustment can change the game. So if you're ever playing a match and you see that ball's not going as deep as you want it to, just try hitting higher. What Ned did well this game was retrieving and volleying. He did an excellent job retrieving most of the balls when Mark had the pressure. A lot of this was because he didn't let the ball bounce and die in the corner. When he volleyed the shot, it allowed him to stay in the rally and take time away from Mark. Although our volleys weren't perfect, it was enough to take time away from Mark and more importantly, allow Ned to stay on the tee. A good example here is that we forced Mark to hit a good shot and allow him to make the error, where if we let these balls get to the back of the court, we would lose the point. There are two main concepts that will turn the sparse pressure Ned had into a more consistent one. The first one we are going to cover is how Ned is defending and recovering from pressure. As we said before, the volley is vital in defending pressure, and sometimes it is even enough to get you back in the rally. However, at the level we are playing at, and at higher levels, volleying isn't enough to win you the point and can in fact cost you games. If we look at some of the rallies here, Ned has a tendency to volley cross-court when defending a shot. A majority of the time when defending, we have the option of defending straight versus cross-court. We tend to choose the cross-court shot because it is more comfortable for us to hit because we don't have to worry about hitting ourselves. The problem with this, in order to get back on equal footing in the rally, we have to hit a shot that pressures our opponent. Now the cross-court is a tough shot to hit when we are in a good position. The chances we hit this shot when we are defending is very slim. The cross-court is a tough shot because we have to hit them close to perfectly. We need the shot to get by our opponent or hit the neck. Anything in between makes an easy shot for your opponent. If we compare the cross-court to a straight shot, the straight shot is easier to hit and we do not get punished as often. The advantage of a straight shot that the cross-court cannot achieve is that it has the ability to stay tight to the wall. It does not matter how hard we hit the shot, but rather how tight to the wall it is because our opponent cannot attack if it is tight. Remember, our goal is to get back into the rally, which makes the straight shot a safer way to do this. The second area where it costed us points was when we decided to drop shot. We dropped a total of 9 times this match. We lost a total of 5 of these points. When we chose to drop shot, it was usually at an inopportune time. If we look where we decided to drop shot from, we were usually far from the front wall. The difference between hitting a drop shot from here to here can change from 80% of the time to 20% of the time. Ned is not a shooter, so when we try to go for these drop shots from far away, it was no wonder we gave up a lot of pressure when we probably aren't successful at hitting our mark majority of the time. What started working, and what Ned did twice, was counter dropping and continued to apply pressure this way. This worked because we are now closer to the front wall. The question we should be asking ourselves is, why are we dropping? To move the person to the front is the obvious answer. However, if we can't hit the shot well from a specific location and it ends up hurting us instead, should we still hit it? What if we hit a different shot instead, like a straight length, and wait for a better opportunity? We even see an example here in this rally where we continue to hit straight length and we didn't need a drop shot to win this rally. It's a good question to ask yourself if your drop shots are causing more harm than good. It's not, is the drop shot the right shot in this scenario, but rather, is the drop shot right for me? So based on this game, Ned should be trying to reduce the pressure and push his advantages in future games. Ned is very good at retrieving balls and staying relevant in rallies where most other players would already concede the point. Ned is what I like to call a runner in squash, and in players who play against these so-called runners are forced to hit better shots in order to win the point. In this process, they end up misplaying shots because they feel like they must hit more accurate and better shots than against other players. Runners, on the other hand, tend to have looser shots and rely on taking advantage of these misplaced shots. With this being the case, Ned wants to reduce the amount of loose shots he plays while also punishing his opponents more frequently. The game plan is first reduce the amount of loose shots by defending straight instead of cross court. Finally, he increases his conversion rate on free balls by electing not to hit drop shots but rather deep shots. Again, the point of this is to provide something more sustainable for Ned to win future games. Ned actually went on to lose the next 3 games in this match. Thank you guys so much for watching Game Day, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. A big thank you to Ned and Mark for submitting the video. If you guys liked it, please hit the like button and comment how much down below. If you guys want to see more videos and content, hit the subscribe button to the right. See you guys soon.